Child, Auntie was ripping and running so hard on a Monday. I almost skipped Tuesday. I thought the day was Wednesday. But y'all know what it is. It goes up on a Tuesday. What's good in the hoodie peeps? So originally I wanted to continue talking about insecurities, but the spirit has led me, because I can't find my notes, to talk about intuition. Is your intuition screaming at you? And what do you do? Okay. What do you do when your intuition is screaming at you? All the noise of the world. Our brains are constantly bombarded with information and opinions, because I know I have different thoughts 50, 11 times a day, okay? Especially if caffeine or liquor is involved. And what's the dangers of relying solely on external sources, right? And what about the importance of learning to trust your inner voice? You know that little voice in your head, like you said to yourself, and yourself said, and you thought you was crazy because you answered. Okay. And I can go deep into the little voice, okay? Because sometimes I know somebody's going to try to med MD diagnose me, but sometimes I get a little ringing in the ear, right? And I had talked to my twister, and my twister said that she gets it too, and because she's deeply involved in the church, okay, for some of you more spiritual folk, that's the sound of our guardian angel, right? That we diagnose WebMD with the same thing, okay? Because technically we like what's the not even Irish twins, hell, because she weighed, I don't want to say it that way, but she's older than me, right? Because I'm gonna get cursed out in tongues if I say way, okay? But my sister is much older than me, okay? And so it I won't say be impossible if we have the same medical condition of the ringing of the ears, because we never in the same place at the same time, okay? But anyway, that's neither here nor there, okay? Listen to your inner voice, because it will inevitably, I want to sound smart, bring you peace, okay? And understanding your intuition. What is intuition and how does it work? Because it's almost like common sense, and I know a lot of y'all don't have not another piece of common sense, okay? And let's talk about, how do you distinguish between intuition and emotions, fears, or biases, right? Now, if you looking at somebody, most of y'all, particularly for their race, right? And you have a little voice in your head that say, well, I can't say that on YouTube, never mind. That's biased, okay? If you have a little voice in your head against a little particular race, okay, then that's being biased, okay? Your fears, I give you a good example, because as I've gotten older, bugs that fly, bite, and sting, that sound like all bugs, don't it? The bugs that fly, bite, and sting, wasp, hornets, yellow jackets, all of them terrify me, right? I will run into a parked car. I will jump out of a moving car, okay? Now, I'll kick it with a spider or two. Anyway, let me not ramble. But that's fears. You fear going outside because the world gonna get you. In my case, bugs, okay? And they have no respect in the summertime, none, or spring. Your emotions, right? You're feeling some type of way because you're emotional damage. You're feeling, I don't know how to do all them little gifts and them little ad lib thingies that they be putting in the videos, y'all. You're gonna have to bear with your auntie. I'm crazy. I mean, I'm not crazy. I'm just a little bit. Okay. Your emotions can get the best of you at times, and you're thinking on an emotional level, and you think that's your intuition, but it's not. I'm here to tell you, it's not. You're acting upon emotions, right? Your intuition is that gut feeling. Depending on what you do for work, a lot of people will say the hair on the back of their neck stands up. Right now, I ain't gonna get too much into what I used to do and what I do and what I don't do. Right, but walking up to a particular situation at work and you don't even have the full story yet, but you start to get that little spidey sense tingling. That is your intuition. Maybe it's danger. Maybe it's um a non-dangerous threat. Maybe it's something that you need to be aware of. Your senses are heightened, right? And then because I don't want to leave it at your senses are heightened, because every time you jump you're gonna think it's your intuition. That's not it, right? For some of us, we have visions, premonitions, dreams, whatever you want to call it, of things that are to come before they're happening. Now sometimes it freaks some people out. I don't think it's ever freaked me out because I was made aware of it from the generations before me. My sister, my mother, my grandmother, my brothers, like all of us have it, right? In my family. I don't know about y'all. But my mom used to have visions and dreams, right? Her and my grandma could tell you to a T. And I'm not talking about like uh, gypsies or fortune tellers, anything like that. It's just something that we have within us. We ain't predicting what's gonna happen tomorrow. I can't give you the lottery numbers. That's not what I'm saying. But if you get it, you get it, got it, good. Okay, moving on. That's your intuition, right? The power of mindfulness. And I haven't eaten yet, y'all, and I finished the workout and tried to do my hair, so I'm gonna stumble over some words, but bear with me, okay? We're gonna get there eventually, okay? The power of mindfulness and self-awareness and tuning into your inner guidance. Again, that little hair on the back of your neck, that little feeling you get in your guts, not your butt, okay? Because some of y'all just eat poorly, okay? Or you got gastro issues like me, all right? So you have to be able to decipher the signals, right? And I'm sorry for whatever extra sounds y'all hear. I might belch a little bit. I had a little water, okay? I told you I worked out, all right? I'm gonna try not to do it in the microphone. Okay, this is gonna be real rap, raw, uncut, unedited. Okay, I'm just gonna slap a little picture on here. We gonna move on. Back to the topic, deciphering the signals, right? Being able to identify the patterns in your intuitions, such as reoccurring thoughts or feelings, right? And I can give you the perfect example, but my ex ain't gonna like it, okay? But I would not rehearse arguments in my head, but I almost could tell you when it was gonna happen, how it was gonna happen, and what part of the house I was gonna be in when it happened, right? And that's deciphering the signal. Now, it's different for everybody. Again, you may get the ringing in the ear, warning you that your guardian angel is with you. You may have a quick little vision where you thought you saw something but you didn't, and then like either 5 minutes later or a day later, it happens. A lot of people call it deja vu. Oh, you see where we're going with this? Okay, because I get that too. You feel like you've been somewhere or already done something, and then boom, it happens. And you're like, dang, again, I made the same decision. How can I learn to control it and move differently than the past, right? I don't know. I can't get too deep into it. Maybe you reincarnated. Maybe you live in another life. I don't want to get into that because then I'm gonna have to argue with somebody in the comments, and I don't want to do that. So let's continue. You have to pay close attention to the physical sensations. What did I just say? And gut feelings, right? Intuition can manifest itself in dreams. I said that. I've done that. I've been there. Okay. Synchronicities or inner knowing. Okay. Like you don't know how you know, but you know that you know that you know. Now you don't know how you know it, you just know you know it, okay? And my grandma is that type of person, okay? And all I can tell you is that Jesus is her boyfriend, baby, and she be praying. And once she told me that when I was younger, I never doubted her since, and I do believe Jesus is a boyfriend, okay? But I'm just kidding, y'all. I was messing with my grandma one time, and she told me Jesus was her husband, and I ain't bothered her since about a man, okay, and never will. All right, now moving on, because I hadn't had a whole show, and I've been talking for about 20 minutes, only to realize that the recorder had timed out. Okay, so we starting back over, not over, but in the next block. Okay, acting on your intuition, taking small steps and experimenting with your intuition. Like for me, it wasn't until a certain situation happened that I realized it was the exact thing that I saw when I was standing in my kitchen having deja vu. I mean, all the way down to the fruit that I was eating at the time, right? Now, I vaguely remember it might have been a strawberry or something, but I vaguely remember what that was now. But when it happened, oh, babe, I already knew I'm finna win this argument because I've done this before. I already know. I already know exactly what happened because I had deja vu about it. All the way down to me taking a trip to the Bahamas. I felt like I had already been to that place. Now, a lot of people don't believe in astral projection, but I've done it. Some people think it's witchcraft. Some people think it's devil worship. I don't think that at all. I think we're all in tune with certain gifts. And is in tune the word? Yeah, I just be making stuff up. But I think we're all afforded certain gifts, right, in life. Just whatever life you may be living at the time. And a lot of times it goes unnoticed because A, it scares you, or B, it's never happened to you before and you think you're crazy, right? Them the only two options I'm gonna give you. But once I realized that, okay, this isn't the first time that this happened. This isn't the first time that I've noticed this, witnessed it, or heard other people talk about it, right? And so from that moment on, I decided that I'm no longer going to be afraid. I'm no longer going to fear what this is. And I'm just going to see if I can learn to control it because I'm a weirdo like that, right? And I love mysteries, is the best way that I can put it. So anything that's mysterious or is not considered normal, I love learning about things like that. I love testing out theories. I ain't gonna say always trying new things because that would be a lie, right? But again, I digress because I don't want to ramble and then this video end up being like 40 minutes long and the timer is gonna keep timing out. But y'all hold that thought. Hold a minute. And we're back. All right, y'all. I know this little episode gonna be all over the place, but I'm beefing with a pestilence, and I finally spotted a little fruit fly, and I had to get him. I has to cut you. Okay, okay, all right. So yeah, so take small steps. Experiment with your intuition, right? Trust your instincts, even if they seem unconventional. Think about this. How many times have you journaled something? Some of y'all call it manifesting. I promise you, it's nothing new. It ain't nothing new to the ones that's true to it. Okay. um you journal your thoughts or you journal an incident and then the exact same thing happens again. Now I don't know about y'all, but I go back and read the pages of my journal, my diary, whatever notes that I wrote down. I go back and read them sometimes because I like to know that I've experienced this before. I like to know how I handle it. I like to know how I handled it and should I handle it differently. That's all I'm saying. So journaling is important. Now me, well, I'm gonna give it to you this way. I still journal, but I do an exercise journal. Now I do take notes in a journal for my podcast, right? But journaling about my thoughts and my feelings, I hate it. I'll write a poem, I'll paint a picture, I'll draw a picture, like anything but that. I call my sketchbook journal, because a lot of times, depending on the cartoon or the character or whatever I'm drawing at the time, that's really how I'm feeling at the time. You might get Pepe Le Pew. I want somebody to be as crazy about me as I am about him. Or, I might draw the Tasmanian devil where they done piss me off and I'm ready to tap some shit. Okay? But there are different forms of journaling. Journaling can be artistic. It can be sense of relief. Like once you get and I used to be this way too. Once I get the thoughts out of my head, I'm fine. I'm no longer thinking about it. I'm no longer stressing about it. I don't care what that thought may be. Right? So in that sense, journaling helps you, and it helps you to self-reflect and understand and refine your intuition, right? So if you feel like, for those who don't really know what intuition is, because I know I do have some young subscribers on this channel, but for those of you who don't know what your intuition is, the next time you get a feeling that something is either off, now, I mean, don't put yourself in a dangerous situation to say your auntie told you to do it, because I'm not telling you that. But if you feel like if you do this certain thing, things would be better for you, as long as it's safe, try it, right? What's the harm in trying something? Now, there is a transformative power in following your intuition. I already gave you like several different examples for me, if y'all could decipher them, because I know they're a little bit scrambled. But the transformation, I don't want it to sound like I'm glorifying winning an argument, but the I don't want to get into detail how I won. But knowing that that argument was going to take place, knowing that I saw the pattern, knowing that I saw the build up, and being able to, I don't even want to say satisfy myself, but being able to listen in that moment and know that at some point, at this exact time, at this exact place, maybe not really, maybe it was a past life, I don't know, that this happened before, and I know how to handle it and still maintain my sanity afterwards. That was the reward for me, right? And I know to some of y'all this is just gonna be crazy talk, but I promise you, some sisters and some brothers out there who get it. Okay, find clarity and direction in your life through your intuition, right? And that exact moment when I was standing in my kitchen eating that fruit, having that argument with this person, right? I found clarity in that moment. Okay, I knew all this time that I wasn't crazy. I knew all this time that I had a reason for feeling how I was feeling. I had all the signs, I couldn't see it because I was just so infatuated, right? And then boom, smack to the face, there it is, right? There are benefits of making decisions that align with your inner voice, right? How many people have you seen win the lottery based on numbers that they dreamed about, or based on a particular pattern of numbers, or based on a birthday, like just a birthday of somebody who meant something to them specifically, not their birthday? I don't know if anybody ever won with their birthday. I don't follow it no more, but just think about how these things happen because that person listened to that inner voice. And they may not know where that voice came from. They may have thought that they told themselves to play this number, right? And I'm not gonna make it sound divine or anything, because the church people tell you not to gamble and that the Lord frown upon that, okay? But that voice came from your intuition, right? And probably the lottery wasn't the best example, but that's what popped in my head, so I said it, okay? But even all the way down to trying to decide on a topic for your school paper, that'd probably be better for some of y'all age range. Trying to decide on a topic for your school paper, right? The teacher may be pulling you this way, your friends may be pulling you that way so they can cheat off your paper. Or, but deep down inside what's important to you and what you want to discuss. And then you do the paper your way with your topic and you still pass with flying colors, right? That's following your intuition. So again, for me, this gave me a little break. The next topic or the next episode is going to be about burnout, y'all. Because listen, I'm telling you, I ran so much on Monday that I completely forgot. I thought I was late. I thought I was tardy for the party. I did not even know that today was Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday. Forgive me, okay? But I'm here, okay? But I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for watching. Love you. Bye. Oh yeah, like, comment, share, and subscribe. You bitch.